put gaming and advertising together until I heard Alok give his convincing presentation there. So next up is Samir Bangara. He's the CEO of India Games. Samir has been involved with India Games for over a decade as a venture capitalist, as an investment banker, and now in an operating role. And I'd like to welcome Samir to the stage next. And as I think you know, Samir's company has been in the news quite a bit lately for some big reasons. Okay, thank you, Samir.
Thank you. Just give me a second to set up here, please. I've got the support staff a little concerned because I'm doing this straight off my iPhone. I've done it a few times before, so it isn't the first time. But it's a little easier for me to demo stuff to you that I'd like to show you rather than doing it off PowerPoint. So if I can just get this out of the way. Okay, great. Perfect. All right. Great, okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for getting Alok, and Alok, fantastic job to rush to that. For unavoidable reasons, I'm on a 6:30 flight, and so I'd requested if I can get out, but we're doing great in time, and thanks again so much, Rebecca and Alok, for that. So before we start, a couple of presenters before me had already asked the relevant questions. Roy had already checked how many of you are advertisers and publishers, so I have that data. But actually, some people have left. So can we just see a quick show of hands of how many people are advertisers in this audience? Fantastic. And how many people are spending more than 10% of their budget on digital today? Just digital, forget games. All right, that's an obvious, significantly smaller percentage. And okay, how many of you are gamers in this audience? Okay, and just leave your hands up. How many of you have ever played Snake or Bounce or Brick Breaker on your BlackBerry or on iPad or anything from the entire audience? Yeah, so obviously significantly more people who've actually engaged with games, but we start with this problem that a lot of people have this issue about really identifying themselves as gamers. It's almost like this, well, I'm not a gamer, but actually that's all you've been doing ever since you grew up. Even on the digital medium on your phones, everybody's experimented with that embedded game on the phone. It's just hard to get to, and that's what creates the challenge. So, let's start off with really, who's the biggest gamer? Okay, this is coming off some research that we've done. It's about 15, 18 months old. And Analysys Mason had done this. So Nokia, Analysys Mason, and India Games had got together to do this research. And we measured, we spoke to 1,000 gamers, contacted 5,000 gamers. So this is across 80 towns and cities in India. So I'm going to show you 4 images. And I just want you to think of who do you think is the biggest gamer out of these audiences that you're seeing? A practicing pujari in a temple. Okay? A Pani Puri wala, I couldn't get an image of the Pani Puri wala. So these aren't the real images, but they're representative of that. A Jawan on the Indo-Pak border, and a metrosexual young male. Okay? Any guesses on who the biggest gamer was in that audience? Sorry? The pujari. This gentleman had played cricket and free games, so we measured this by time as well as by money spent, and it was like a combined score, and he came up on top of the metrosexual youth and the other folks. So clearly, this is gaming, thanks to the to mobile phones, has pervaded an audience that none of us had expected, and frankly, this was a great learning for us, because till then, we had no way of actually figuring out that folks like this were actually doing this, and it changed a lot of our thinking of the kind of content that we were creating. So an easier one now, where do you think the gaming revolution in the country is actually taking place? Is it on consoles? Is it on smart devices like the iPad, iPhone, Android devices, very relevant in the Indian context? Possibly on affordable phones, big hint there obviously, or let's put a twist in that, on television sets. Okay? Now, interestingly, the affordable handsets I think everybody would have got. But the television set, and I'm going to talk about that more in a case study, is becoming an extremely relevant medium to engage audiences on gaming. And we've done some tests on that, and I'd like to share those results with you. And clearly the 400 million handsets. Now, you've always heard the number of 800 million phones out there, so just ignore that, because as advertisers and publishers, it's kind of irrelevant. There's 400 million devices that are capable of connecting to the internet, and we're still just talking mobile. Of those 400 million, there's only 100 million today who actually connect at any given time. Okay, and we'll filter down, because I don't want to throw a big number out there that you actually can't do anything with. So we'll come down to actually what makes sense, what can you actually do business with. So clearly what's happening is that our audiences are changing. We've got the traditional youth there that you're used to seeing as gamers, and you've got the older people. But let's also now figure out what kind of scale we're talking about. So all of this is no good unless it's actually scale. And the interesting point now is, and this is now drilling down from that 100 million connected devices, 70 million people on mobiles connect and use the internet on their mobile every single month. So this is really the relevant audience for you, because there's nothing much you can do with the 30 million who are just a stated number. The 70 million people are people that we can actually do stuff with. Okay? And guess what? 25 million of those 70 million are playing games. Now, thanks to Alok's presentation and some of the other stuff that people have spoken to you about, that's 35 to 40% of the audience. That's strangely the same number of split of the online audience and the gamer audience to the online audience. There's some magic happening there. So this is 35 to 40%. Online's doing that, and Facebook's at the peak at 53%. So when you look at this number, it doesn't seem, because when I throw this out to a lot of folks, they said, we can't believe that. Now, obviously, 25 million people are not paying for content. There's about 8 to 10 million people out of that number who are paying for content. That itself is a phenomenal number if you look at paid content. And the rest of them are playing free games that they're getting from various sites, etc. And then there's DTH. And I specifically talk about DTH because as digital cable comes through, that will also open up. But for now, it's DTH as the key opportunity. There's 40 million homes. There's 170 million people to be engaged with. The common refrain that we've got from a lot of brands, and by the way, we do less than 10% of our revenues from advertising. And so this, in one sense for me, is the glass half empty or half full. We clearly see a growth opportunity, but it's not a day-to-day pain point. We would love to see this grow. A lot of times we hear that it's not scaled yet, and I'm here to tell you that it has, and that we don't get a device that we can put our brand on and be proud of it, and the television set, therefore, is the obvious choice. And here's the television set. And on DTH and on set-top boxes, we can actually drive communication messages in addition to promotion messages that we'll talk about. So that's 170 million people, no small audience there. But obviously, we can't, nothing is worth talking about in this day and age unless we can talk about the Holy Grail, the social Holy Grail. Okay? So, these facts, they've been thrown out. 850 million monthly active users, which means that someone who's come, liked, commented, updated a status. If you haven't done that and you just browsed and seen your friends' messages, you don't count. So that's 850 million global. Let's come down to India. 40 million monthly active users in India. That's straight out of Facebook's recent IPO prospectus. 57% are daily engaged users of that audience. Phenomenal stat. And similar to the stat that Alok put out, about 50%, and I'm trying to tune this for India, I believe anecdotally the stats for India are not different. So you can assume there's about 50% in India who play games. But hang on a second, the one figure that I haven't seen put out there, and you may have seen yesterday, that internationally, and I don't see any reason why it should be very different in India, women lead social interactions. And women, 60% of Zynga's audience is women above 35. Start putting that into context in what we are going to be doing in India. So keep that at the back of your mind, we'll come to it again. This is just another interesting stat. Of the, do the math there, 421 minutes. This is when Facebook was still about 500 million users. That's about 927 million hours per month of gaming, 105,900 man hours or woman hours, depending on what percentage that is, of virtual farming. So, wow. But frankly, what's in it for you and what's in it for me? So let's really ask ourselves, and I'm going to stick my neck out here because there's so much of pro-social stuff that you've heard that I'm going to take the opposite tack. Is social really the Holy Grail from an Indian context? Ask yourself, is India, actually, let me draw your attention to, this is straight out of, again, the Facebook's prospectus, or the red herring notice, whatever you call it. They do not generate any significant revenue, any meaningful revenue from Facebook mobile products. So 85% is still from advertising. The minute a user, and by the way, users are transitioning to mobile rapidly. So it's not like users aren't coming on mobile, but Facebook still is not monetizing on mobile effectively. Their advertising hasn't picked up. It's not to say they won't 6 months down the line, because they're a phenomenal company. But as of today, I'm trying to draw your attention to the fact that growth of Facebook internationally has been largely online. People are now moving mobile, and there's a catch-up that they're playing even from a gaming perspective of Facebook games or the social games on mobile phones. India is going to be a mobile economy, a mobile digital economy. I don't think there's any doubt about that. There's going to be 500 million connected devices by 2015, and in that, what you have to ask yourself is, smartphones are great. I'm sure that these social games will, it's a no-brainer, they'll be able to monetize the smartphone devices. But that's going to be 100 million out of the 1.1 billion handsets in the country in 2015. So you must go after the 10% of the market. But what about the folks who want to reach the other 90% of the market? This may not be their medium of choice. The third question you might ask yourself is, do I need to have a rock-solid digital strategy in India? And these are kind of obvious ones. But if any of these last three questions you thought that the answer was not yes, take a look at this chart. As far as mobile is concerned, across every single parameter of reach, targeting, engagement, virality, and transactions, and this, I haven't heard of Chetan Sharma Consulting, but I picked this up from a Kleiner Perkins presentation which quoted this, and that's what lent the credibility to it. But this is the fact that this is studied for the US market, and just logically speaking, the numbers might be a little bit different, but the message is clear that mobile, and within mobile, from what you saw in Alok's presentation, gaming is fundamental to being able to create brand affinity. Forget engagement, forget anything else, just create brand affinity, and the story can start from there. I pulled this out from some friends. This is Search, not naming the company, but in the Indian context, for folks who are interested what's going on in India, search queries on gaming in India grew 100% on mobile year on year. On desktops, they grew 40%. So if anybody's wondering whether gaming is of interest to the general audience at large, grew 100% year on year. In terms of salience, the relevance of actually what you're putting out there, for search advertising, the click-through rates, which is actually what is going to determine how much money you're putting in there and what ROI you'll potentially get out of there, are twice as good as the click-through rates on display, on desktop. And as far as display is concerned, they're 3 times as good for gaming-related keywords. So really quickly, I want to take you through two quick case studies, and to the gentleman who had the question on, tell us what's going on in India. There are a couple of friends and clients also who are here. I think Atit and Karthik are here, and this is for one of the brands of their company. So Clinic Plus and Disney came together to, Clinic Plus wanted to be perceived as a modern and trendy brand. They had phenomenal market share, and they were perceived as a strong brand within that TG, but they wanted to create this shift. Disney comes up, creates a cross-media solution for them. So apart from actually creating an online interaction as well as a mobile game, they actually created, they had on-pack branding, etc., and they gave them this 360-degree solution. What this did is, a game was there, you played as a prince, you picked up Clinic Plus bottles, and the, Rapunzel's or Tangle's hair grew, etc., and you moved on. But from an advertiser's perspective, what did this really mean? So this is the quote really from the brand. This enabled them to grow ahead of market, get new platforms to interact with their users, reach new customers, improve the image of the brand by 200 basis points or 2%, but that meant a lot in that short time span of doing this, and they engaged in a second campaign. Quickly on Ravan, everybody's heard of Ravan. I hope, for people who are not here, this was the first really massive budget action hero movie that was created in Bollywood. We were doing the game on this, and we pitched brand Parle G because they have this. They stand for G Mane Genius. It made sense at some level. We went and pitched them, and they were interested in reaching out to youth in large numbers. Their target was to again engage. That's what every brand. That's the term that everybody uses. But they put a pretty high ask. They wanted to reach double-digit million people. It's a very, very tough ask, and at ROIs that were practically committed. So what we did here is we created this game, and I'm just going to walk you through it. And you will see over here that the game has a a store. So the game's actually free to users, and you would buy weapons, etc. And in the inventory, because I'm not showing you the static branding, take that for granted, because nobody technically necessarily values static branding. It's been done to that. You have these health packs. So you could buy these various health packs, and as you were getting clobbered in the game, you could actually use them. So if you were to go into the game, you'll figure out, there's branding in it, but it isn't necessarily sort of in your face. It's kind of there. It's partly subliminal, and you will see as I'm getting beaten up, there's this line down there that's my health. I could pause there, go and buy this health pack and get my health back. So, it gave them integration. Let's see what this actually did for them. I'm going to skip a video there just to keep time short. So, in terms of reach, I don't know how many times for digital you can actually throw this number out there. We reached 200 million people in the strict definition of what reach is. There was 90 million people. We work exclusively with Dish TV, Airtel, and Reliance on their DTH platforms. There's about 90 million people reached on that, 70 million people on data-connected mobiles, and another 40 million through the Facebook game that we created. There was, the game actually went to number 1 on the iPhone App Store. This is brand value. It doesn't mean anything in terms of revenues and numbers because the iPhone is tiny in the Indian context. But on the OV Store, we hit 1 million downloads in 10 days. It's the fastest game to 1 million that's ever been played in the country or launched in the country, at least on the mobile platform. And on DTH, like I said, we were reaching about 90 million people. The split was there in terms of homes between Airtel, Reliance, and Dish TV. And for the first time, because people question in DTH being a one-way medium, how do you ever know how many people are actually doing this? There's no way, there's no interactivity. So we figured out a way, and I won't get into that, of measuring exactly how many people played and engaged with this game. And it turns out that just on Airtel, I'll caveat, 25% of the entire base of 5.5 to 6 million while this game was live played this game. A pretty healthy percentage of these people actually finished all the levels and then engaged in a contest at the end of it. So that was the DTH part of it. And then, of course, there was a Facebook interaction. You'll see just in terms of scale, we've crossed over 8 to 10 million downloads. On Facebook, we did about 400,000 installs, still growing. Very useful in terms of engaging through the Shah Rukh Khan fans and the Ravan network. So, good stuff there. But in terms of scale, mobile and DTH absolutely led it. So in summary, ladies and gentlemen, if you're looking for a medium that can actually give you scale, that can actually deliver, I will never say cheap because we aren't, but it can guarantee you pretty healthy ROIs and also give you that holy grail of engagement, I would seriously say game on and start thinking about investing in games and brands. Thank you.